to Altitude Esports Mock Overwatch League. We're currently going into the map 3. Currently, both teams up 1-1, with Bubble Tea taking map 1 and Tokyo Ghouls taking map 2. I guess we'll have to see where we go from here. We do have William Zhang back on the Reinhardt, most likely the Reinhardt, and we'll see what they can do.
Yes, for all the people that are coming in as a new stream, I'm Colorcaster Alex Yoshi, and this is Play-by-Play Cookie. We did have to restart a bit for some technical difficulties, but now we are back, and yes, you're right, William Zhang coming back onto the Seoul Bubble Tea's roster. So like I said, we're gonna see a lot of good Rhine plays there. Hopefully not any more uncontested shatters. let's not for the second half, but definitely waiting to see what kind of plays are coming from Tokyo Ghouls and the Seoul Bubble.
Should be exciting for sure. Really's getting close into it. They are ready.
Yeah. So Cookie, you I don't think you ever predicted a team to win here. Do you want to make a prediction now with the 1-1 scoreline?
So 1-1, I still think Bubble Team might be able to just get back on top. Especially, I do think they're going to be able to take this next map with William Zhang back on the tank line, because he's just such a strong driving force for the team. They're at their best when he's rolling around. Not taking away anything from Goofy, who is still a pretty solid Reinhardt for the tank line, but William Zhang is just special. You know, he's the one that sort of crushes any other Rhine under him. And while Tokyo Ghouls is definitely able to bring this back, they're definitely showing us what they've got with that huge defense on Temple of Anubis. It's still anyone's game, but I think my bet is for Bubble Tea currently.
Well, I mean, especially with like Eichenwald, and if you think about the geography of that, like it's very Pharah favored, and like Junkrat, basically area denying galore, which might spell trouble here for the Tokyo Ghouls. I mean, even with that full hold on Anubis earlier, it took Tokyo Ghouls quite some time to capture that point A. And that was only because they've also managed to find some very good picks. Like Absolute Zero was popping off the Hanzo from those first picks. So
he's just gonna do it some more.
I think unless Tokyo Go like adjusts this to that kind of Pharah and maybe Junkrat play, they will find themselves in a bit of trouble here on Eichenwald.
Ooh, good controls. Tried to bait out the Torb Def there to throw him off, but yeah, we'll probably see a fire from him again or something similar. Because fire can be pretty strong in defense on this map. Because there's not a lot of sight lines you can take as a hit scan to sort of push in, and it's always harder to push in as a hit scan against the fire than, you know, defending.
True, but I think Bubble Tea is attacking first here, so yeah, that the fire pick might be a bit, because that tends to favor the defense a lot more. But I'm kind of interested as to what Tokyo Ghoul is going to run here. And it looks like Ashe, actually, with Rein Zarya, maybe. So Rein Zarya, Mei, and Ashe, huh? That's a bit of an interesting pick there.
So the Ashe can be, while she is by no means meta, at this rank and with enough coordination, she can still be pretty strong. She can build that Bob ult very quickly in these sort of team compositions where everyone's playing very close together, unlike the competitive ladder where everyone's doing their own thing. And Bob can be a pretty strong ult a lot of the time, to contest, to put out damage, to zone. Any of these things can be pretty strong. But we have good controls. Switching to the Hanzo here. Should have got here, but we are still on the Ana as well. They wall off Ryan pretty early, but they're going to be able to save him. But May's walled off by herself. Her team's going to get in there. We're just going for a little bit of poke damage. They are split slightly. Mercury's backing up. They're playing it safe, trying to get back to his team. But like I said, you know, Bubble Tea's on fire already. They're getting burnt down by this TNT. We're throwing it out over and over again. The only ability that Ash really has is that E, is that Dynamite. Mercury Spike actually finds disease fairly early as well as Cover Top. Cover Top? Cover Top? One or the other. It's a pretty balanced fight until that last pick onto Deku and Go controls. And that's going to be Tokyo sealing the fate nice and early.
I will say...
Covered up.
Covered up. I would say Absolute Zero here, controlling some pretty good space with the TNT. Not letting Soul Bubble Tea push in when they normally would have, kind of allowed them to slip up on their ability usage and allowed Tokyo Gold to go in and push.
And both teams kind of wasted May Wall there, which can be pretty important. We're just playing it fairly normally. William Zhang snipes Absolute Zero of the Fire Strike though. He shatters into that shield. Probably just a flex thing. We've got 2 Nether Ryans, no shatters, and 1's antied though. That's going to means everything, but he gets bubbled, keeping him alive. Ben Whistle doesn't quite fall. William Zhang falls to the Mercury Spark in the back. But that's both Reinhardt's down now. And the rest of Tokyo is walled in there, and
Transcendence?
Ryan is still a little bit here. Might not be too awful. They've almost got it even here. It's a 3v4, 3v5. Dawson finds Go controls. That could be a huge pick. But we are cleaning up a little bit here. They're stalling it out, getting this time bank though. AMA, one of the last soldiers here, is going to swing, but he was antied. Going to make it nice and quick. Mercury Spike trying to stay alive, but he falls again to William Zhang. And that's going to be it.
Deku made that all possible from Soul Bubble. While you're right, they had 2 nano Ryans there. Deku managed to hit that anti on 2. That means that AMA had to hold up a shield and protect, while William Zhang got to aggress basically wherever the heck he wanted. And yes, while he did die, he dealt a lot of damage over to the Tokyo Gold team to the point where they eventually snowballed and won the fight.
Yeah, Poison actually snipes Kermit up fairly early. He's on that good Anna that he needs to be on. We chuck Bob into the room by himself. He's just chilling out. He's not real any use. He's just hanging around. Mercury Spike kills his mirror nice and early there. But nothing's going to matter too much here. They just sort of got to back out here and bring it to us. They got walled off. I sneeze, and then the Anna's just getting staggered here. And
that was awkward from both sides there with Disease and Mercury Spikes as well. I don't exactly know what they were trying to accomplish there, but we'll just write it off as okay.
Maybe more flex ults, you know. They're important. The mind games are strong, but they're gonna be strong enough. We've got the grab coming through, but Shadow takes down AMA. He's not gonna be able to get the damage, and he does fall. COVID Ops does get the beat out as well, keeping his team alive in that grab. They're gonna be able to keep pushing the cart, and they're just gonna be like picking everyone off here. It's just gonna be a slow burn. They need to too much to jump off the map because they're gonna struggle to get out, especially with William Zhang sniping people with his fire strike. The support's trying to keep them alive, but Dawson's burning now and walled off. Absolute Zero nearly gets booped off, and they managed to get out. They managed to survive, unfortunately for Bubble Tea, but works out.
Before we continue on, thank you for following Big Iron OW. Welcome to the altitude. We're glad you're here watching the battle.
Yeah, Bob pushes him off as well as Covet's not pushing it. The nano boosted AMA. That is so unfortunate. Bob takes out 2 picks. We don't need Go controls out here. We just need the Bob. And,
oh man, that is so unfortunate. AMA was just ready to go in there and be like, okay, I'm gonna do right things, and it just gets booped off of the bridge. I don't know if I can fall.
Unfortunate. Yeah, even with his boop defense these days, the double boop from Bob and the Lucio boop, just too strong.
Yeah, it is. And now coming into this, William Zhang almost has his. How much does this guy get shatters? I don't know, because he's almost up for another
one. Off again and pin. That's him dropping. AMA's gonna pick it up here, honestly. Bob gets slept frozen and just kept in solitude in the middle of the point. Gonna contest that point, fortunately, but he does die. Quite an unfortunate death. They're putting out a lot of damage here, especially with the dynamites and the right clicks from the Mei, putting in so much damage. It's gonna be a struggle. Double shatter. Only effective on one side, really. The grab comes out, keeping everyone in one spot. Reaper's going to touch point. Absolute Zero doing all you can. The Dragon's coming through, trying to sort of separate everyone. But it's coming up Millhouse for Bubble Tea here. They've just got Zyra off point. The ball comes out, but it's going to fall asleep on point. Going to contest it a little bit longer, where time is very important here. They're so close to getting the point in here, and they're trying to clean it up here. They've just got get the last couple off point, but that's not what they're going to be able to. And that's going to be the push for Bubble Tea for this moment.
The ball contested was pretty big because that allowed Mercury Spike and Absolute Zero to come back onto the sustain heroes on Reaper and Tracer, managing to hold off Soul Bubble from making any more capture point here. And so now, coming into this next fight here, they do have the beat and the shatter, a shatter again. But Ben Winslow had another one. Maybe they'll be able to.
The shatter comes out. It's actually huge. It drops 3 of them. They're gonna get the follow up. They take out AMA again. He's just not being allowed to live. Poor William is grabbed all alone. The beat comes out, keeping everyone else alive. Disease fell quite early there, unfortunately, not being able to keep the sustain up. And now Ryan's just gonna swing to his heart's content. But we have Absolute Zero on the high ground as Reaper, though. He's going to be quite imposing, especially as they push them back here. And Absolute Zero is getting close to... We kind of maybe waste grab here. It's not going to do enough, especially with Coalescence keeping the Zarya alive. Ben Wizzle will not die today.
Yeah, I think Starry is just going... is probably going to want that Graviton back. Maybe you should have made sure Deku was... maybe had a nade or something like that. That may have offset the Coalescence there.
Yeah. He just wants to cap the point. It gets frustrating when you get into this point where you've been here for a moment. You just want to finish up. You're so close, and these desperation tactics just never really work out.
Yeah. Williams then coming back up with another shatter. With disease. with disease. Yeah. I think if
the blizzard comes out, there's a lot of people inside of it. The Transcendent comes out and keeping time alive. We have Absolute Zero. Yeah, too. It's going to be huge, though. The Shatter comes out, the Nano Ryan. It's going to be important here. He tries to take AMA. He's gone again. They've got to finish off these picks. They've got to put down this Zarya as early as possible. But he's just strong. He grabs the 2 in the back, keeping them pinned down to take out the last healer, and it's just William by himself. He's doing all he can. Curvedop gets on point, trying to contest it a little bit longer. We have, who is it here? Go Controls on the McCree, doing all he can, but he's just going to get swung out by AMA. And there's going to be cleanup for Tokyo Ghouls. While Bubble Tea got it pretty far, it's still defended. It's still not a full cap.
Yeah, that's actually huge from the Tokyo Ghoul. Like, when they were looking down, basically, I think a 2 to 3 minute time bank on the cap. Holding him off with the ball and then switching up the DPS. Honestly, I think keeping Absolute Zero on this Reaper, I think that might be the right play here to winning the series as Tokyo Ghoul. Because so far, it's been working out for them, right, Cookie? Like,
yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of their strongest points, especially on the DPS line.
I know. So I think they definitely should be running that more, especially against. I mean, Williams Zem is pretty aggressive, but that also kind of means like the ports might be left open for open season a bit more. Does that make sense, Cookie? I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. They can work around whatever's happening now. Tokyo Ghouls obviously seems a bit more comfortable now, sort of being able to make these flex rolls. We have Absolute Zero on the Widow at the moment, which is odd. But we have Mercury Spike on the Mei. And you see this kind of thing happen sometimes where maybe Absolute Zero just cannot play Mei to save his life. But they also want a Widow. And that happens sometimes, even though Mercury Spike is like the one-trick Widow. But unfortunately, Absolute Zero only knows how to play 2 heroes, apparently.
Interesting pick. Deku on Mercy and Kovarop on Ana? Okay. We'll see how this works out. Maybe they're looking for the Mercy damage boost here? Yeah, I think that's what they might be doing.
It's, as I like to say, interesting. Definitely interesting. They're just going to get that normal damage in, but Go Controls finds awesome nice and early. He found the crack on the shield and threaded the needle, making it a pretty early win for him. They don't actually find any more picks, unfortunately. but they're still building up that ult pretty quickly. With surprise, surprise, William Zhang being one of the leaders in ult charge right now, other than Poison.
Yeah.
Ben Whistle just keeps getting slept here too. Williams walled off, but his team's there to back him up. Not quite enough though. AMA finally finding William Zhang, winning the run v1. And we've got Absolute Zero in the back here, just doing as much as he can, and he gets met with Mercury Spike to help him out, but he does fall, but not before taking out Go Control. So Bob comes out, doing all he can, but he's just a one-man army. He's just one man, maybe the best man on the team, but it's just not quite enough. He can't quite carry.
I mean, Bob did control some space here, and William Zing getting a kill onto Dawson. They might have a chance to buy themselves back in onto this point, Cookie.
Maybe it is Bob MVP doing what he needed to.
Oh, and the
William
shatter.
Zhang gets the shatter in the AMA. He wants that revenge. The Vulcan comes out, maybe a little bit unneeded, but just wants to make sure his team are alive and healthy. And we're going to push Tokyo out.
Big plays there coming from William, and honestly, the Bob was questionable at first from Disease, but hey, it worked out. So
yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Karma plays 420. Thank you for following the altitude. I'm not sure if you're the Karma. I think I know, but if you are, hello. But if you aren't, welcome to the altitude here. We're glad to have you watching this match and enjoy the community.
We have the Coalition coming out nice and early, trying to get that push in, but he gets naded. AMA naded nice and early. After Zero going insane in the back, he takes out 3 people pretty quickly. One gets res, but it's still kind of even here and looking to be more for... Oh, Disease finds Dawson though, and they're getting these really important picks. It seems that Tokyo Ghouls, they get ahead, but they're just not focusing the what's left enough. So even when they're up, it just doesn't quite matter because they're not really focusing anyone.
That was one of the messiest fights I have ever seen. It's like, Tokyo Ghoul got naded, right? Anti-naded. But then they got Absolute Zero in the back. Got like 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah, that was insane.
But then the Soul Bubble Tea still wins. Which is like, what? Hello?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a messy fight there. I think both teams don't want to talk about.
They're nading the back again. Poison gets rid of it pretty quickly though. But he's got no fade left, and that's the other Ryan down again. William, like I said, William is just bullying any other Reinhardt in this league. He's dangerous. Dawson's staggering a little bit here. He's gonna get picked because they're gonna push us forward.
You gotta check the corners, dude. Come on.
You're nice and quiet. Find a nice tree to hide behind, you'll be fine.
Like, that's what we think. Even like OW, I mean, to be fair, OWL level players has fallen, but like really in the hotel, didn't check the hotel room. Now they're looking down the last fight. Basically full hold here.
Bob comes out holding everyone, but Bob comes out trying to defend as much as he can. Transcendence comes in to keep everyone alive as possible. Absolute Zero finds 2, 3, kills Bob as well. The 7th wonderful player. Deku gets into the back and gets the red on Sorry. It's not going to be quite enough though, because there is 6 people alive on the side of Tokyo. They should be able to cap it here. Deku tries his damn hardest, but it doesn't even quite get overtime. Unfortunately.
Deku's like, I'm gonna 1v6 y'all with my Mercy Pistol. Yeah, hello. Just instantly dies.
Pretty good defense for the Bubble Tea though. There was so close to being a full hold, but I don't know. Maybe for the competition that wouldn't let them through.
I don't know. I will take 2 minutes on the bridge here. It's very defensible here, especially with the composition that they have with Bob and like the nade on the bridge, basically forcing the Tokyo Ghoul to like fight in one position that they want. Yeah, I would. And 2 minutes on this bridge isn't bad at all, Cookie.
There's a lot of long range on the side of Bubble Tea, but we do have Mercury Spike on that trademark Widow now. And with these long sights, he might be the most dangerous thing here. They're pushing Bubble Tea all the way into the corner, but Absolute Zero drops to Go Control. So they've got the Grab Dragon just tearing through them. I don't know what happened there. It looked like a blue grab for some reason, and there's definitely no deflecting Genji. A bit odd, but you get that in big jobs.
I would say that was an excellent response there from Williams, and backing up, making sure that nobody gets hit by the sight lines, waiting until they come through, and then having that pick off by Ghost Control, allowing them to win that fight. And they saved the Grab Dragon this time, I think, right? Or was that Tokyo Ghouls? I'm not sure. But yeah, Grab Dragon saved. That's the shatter.
The ones in the back. And William Zhang's nanoed. You gotta watch out. He's coming for you. He takes that AMA and he just presses W. That's all he needs. Stronger than any ult. The W key. He charges in, takes out Ben Wizzle. Absolute zero, cowering in fear at William Zhang. And he finds him.
And now, once again, we are down to 1 fight territory here. Dawson does have that Transcendence, though, so maybe he can counteract disease on the with the bomb. But I mean, even after that, if Ben Wizzle doesn't get the grab off in time, William Zhang has basically another grab coming right up. You know how fast he charges all of those.
Yeah, so the shadow coming up nice and quickly. It's basically an ability at this point. It's just it's a long cooldown ability. Bob drops down in the middle of the team though, splitting them.
Oh no, Dawson dies with the Transcendence.
Yeah, just like he said, he had that Transcendence, which is a very important ultimate in this fight. Ben Wizzle going out by himself, trying to find a good grab, or trying to get a grab, but AMA falls. The shadow comes out. William Zhang is free, unchained, no grab to hold him down. And the DPS Ryan pretty much gets it for him. He charges Dawson away. The big brain plays the 5-head man himself. And that's going to be 2-1 for Bubble Tea.
That was definitely a big misplay there from the Tokyo Ghouls. 100% could have reacted to that bomb and have that fighting chance against Williams, even if only a little bit, at least against Williams Shatter. But once that Ryan went down because
and here it
the
is,
bomb was in the back, he just went unprotected.
Through. That oh my, what is this man's sensitivity? Is it a sensitive soul?
Yeah, that is it. 2-1 for what's it called now. So Bubble Tea is up 2-1 against Tokyo Ghoul. Match point here, and let's see here for this next map. What are they going to be on? Okay, it is Havana, so at least Ghouls might be able to breathe a sigh of relief there. The map is more open on point A, so maybe they'll be able to play Widow sightlines there, and Williams Zhang might not be as effective. And yeah, we do see him being swapped out, I think, for Goofy. Yes. So I think Goofy is
unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Goofy is the open map kind of player, and then like they put William Zhang when it's like Rhine heavy, where they know he'll get off and pop off on the shatters.
Yeah, definitely.
Is William Zhang a GM or anything like that, or is he just a regular player?
No, he's GM. He's up there. They can only play him twice, but yeah, like.
Tokyo Ghoul might actually have a chance to take the series then, because you can't play a GM on a tiebreaker. Right.
I mean, they've already played him twice anyway, so they wouldn't be able to bring him back no matter what.
As long as they win Havana, right? So
exactly. That matters a lot on Mercury. Mercury really has to step it up here. He's been sort of one of the more underperforming players so far throughout this series, and we know he has what it takes. But he really has to actually do it at this point. He can't just get carried by Absolute Zero at this point. He has to do things himself.
That's true, especially on a map like this, where like point A, Widow expertise on defense needed. He needs to be he needs to step into the big boy pants of the Tokyo Ghouls team, because otherwise I don't see them winning the series. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, and Absolute Zero did pop off there on Anubis, but I mean, what if both of them don't pop off? And then what are they gonna do? Right? Like, it is going to be difficult. Bubble Tea, and did Bubble Tea sub in their Bastion player, or?
Oh, I hope so. Let me just tab back in. Do we have Bastion? Please have Bastion. Swap in Goofy. Please, you got to put Shrek 2 on DVD in. The crowd wants it. You might lose this series if you do, but that doesn't matter. At least you had him in.
I mean, then again, if you do that, you're betting on the 2 DPS not being able to pop off there on, like, for example, Hanzo and Widow. If they don't pop off, it's basically free real estate for the Bastion player. Like,
exactly.
It is a huge gamble, especially being up here 2-1 in the series. You've already used William Zhang twice to win 2 maps. That is true. So Bubble Tea may be up 2-1, but they need to just be as on their toes as the Tokyo Ghouls are.
Yeah, they just want to sort of finish out this series as what is it, safely as possible. But even so, Havana with the DP with the lineup they have, if they ran Shrek 2 and goat controls, they could have a near door hold here, because the Far Mercy and the Bastion holding that door is one of the strongest comps for holding door. And they could nearly stop it before the car even moves like a meter. But you're relying on Tokyo Ghouls to not know how to deal with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think they have the perfect answer to that Pharah from Soul Bubble 2, right? Maybe Mercury on the Widow, yes.
Well, that's the thing on this map. Well, at least when you're holding doors, Widow does not get a lot of value trying to shoot above the spawn where Pharah usually sort of hides. But I guess we're just not taking the gamble, unfortunately. We're going some vanilla route.
Yeah, if I actually remember though, Soul Bubble Tea will be attacking first. Yes. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they will be. And there it is. Absolute Zero on the Reaper and Mercury on the Widow. The combination that we were looking for here for the Tokyo Ghouls to have a good shot at take Vana and bring us to a tiebreaker map 5 Cookie. Is it possible?
Oh, it definitely is possible. Like I said, we're seeing a lot from Tokyo Ghouls. They are so close to it, but they really need to sort of bring it home. They need to make smarter plays, maybe a little bit better on communication. And Mercury's
interesting. Oh no, I got cast a curse.
Yeah, they were baiting it. They knew the crowd wanted it.
And Deku oh no, altitude pause, no.
There we go.
Oh no, Cookie. Come
Who
on.
DC'd?
Did someone DC? Really?
Usually that's why that's usually why it pauses auto.
I mean,
but who will it be?
What?
I guess not. That's weird. Because I'm not leading, am I? Weird.
Okay, that's fine.
Unlockers.
Okay, so it's technically not an altitude pause.
No, it's just a normal pause.
Yeah, that's right.
Pause, you know.
Yeah, it's an OWO pause. It's not an altitude pause. Let's go.
that T1 style of production.
All right. We're seeing the Soul Bubble here walk up, but Mercury getting that pick up to disease. There you go.
Super important, and that's what we need to see from Mercury. They just got to keep getting him. Go controls fun to absolute zero as well. This almost pseudo double sniper with the Ash and Hanzo can be pretty strong here. TNT finding Mercury behind the columns. You're not going to survive it. It hits hard, it burns you quick, and they're just going to push out. Hopefully not stagger too much here, because they've still got time to contest at least one more time. Maybe a bit of a rush, but
I'm surprised the Bubble Tea was actually able to win that fight when you're considering like a absolute zero pushing onto the payload when Deku isn't even healing. She's like rezzing. I'm surprised they didn't turn out to win that. I think it was because they hesitated too much, honestly. They should have pushed in when they realized their advantage.
Yeah, they've got to make these commitments. Like, you never see Bubble Tea sort of hesitate ever. They're just making these quick decisions and going with it. While Tokyo sort of take it slow. Coalescence coming out, burning Sorry down. Oh, and we actually see Sorry on the tank as well here. I didn't realize. Mercury Spike finds Deku though. No more reses for them. And they're just going to sort of push them back here. They've only got, what, 5 alive? But that's all they need.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
And that's honestly because of Absolute Zero there as well. Distracting the supports, not and completely separating the tank line from the supports. So like the supports were too busy focusing on just surviving, like from the Reaper, and then Sorry wasn't getting healing. So that's essentially what happened there on that point. But we'll see if they are able to adapt to but the Widow.
And Mercury finds disease again. Nice and early. They no longer have res available. Covered up, falling low, but they're going to be able to heal him up fairly quickly. Very careful. Absolute Zero's in the back here. Ben Wizzle actually finds goat controls. He's a new DPS in town.
This is spelling a bit of trouble at 1 minute 50. But then again, Soul Bubble Tea has 6 ults.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty scary here.
But Mercury getting another pick onto Covert. They need to stop staggering here. This is becoming a problem. They just lost another team fight because of that.
Disease now the slowest ult gainer on their team, falling that many times. You're only getting that passive ult. They're going to throw out a couple here. We've got the grab dragons coming through. Old reliable. Mercury Spike finding disease again. He finds 3. He's going insane here. He's going ultra instinct. Sorry's trying all he can with nano, but will it be enough? Poison coming out with the DPS more. Full on Kamehameha. We've got all the Dragon Ball Z references here today.
And the answer is no.
And that's going to be it.
And that's problems. Map 5 is now being spelled out here. This is looking like a 2-2 tied scoreline because Disease is the only one with the bomb. No one is anywhere near close to shatter. And this isn't like William Zhang, like we said. We're like, sorry. You take a bit longer to charge up your ult, and Absolute Zero and AMA with the shatter
and Disease falls to Mercury Spike again. You can't even do it.
Mercury!
It's a 3k again, clicking every head inside. Absolute Zero stealing a bit of glory. He wants to pick himself, making it seem like it's a team effort.
But they may have overextended there.
That could be very important unless Mercury Spikes continues to click heads here.
I know this matchup between Disease and Mercury right now. Pay attention to this one. Like, if whoever wins this duel, it might turn out to be the winner here if Absolute and AMA don't pop off with results here. So I think I would definitely pay attention to that duel.
Disease is playing very aggressive. AMA comes out the shadow and goes straight into the shield. Unfortunately, Disease finds Mercury Spike. That is super important here. They've only got Absolute Zero coming out of the Death Blossom though. Finding Sorry, they don't have a Reinhardt anymore. This could be big for either side. There's a lot of important players missing. We have the grab coming out, holding AMA in place, but Poison comes out with the Coalescence, and we have both support ults out for Tokyo. That could be a little bit of trouble because there's still Bubble Tea alive. Sorry gets the shutter though. Are they going to be able to take AMA out there? It's just him, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, and that's the full hold.
That's big.
Bubble Tea definitely had the chance there. Absolutely had the chance there, because Disease managing to win that duel against what's called Mercury. Now had uncontested high ground for that entirety of that fight, but just it couldn't find the picks to finish off the rest. I mean, granted they did have ults there, but Tokyo Ghoul kind of used those preemptively almost, right? Like kind of just chucked in the trans there without like.
Exactly. There's no rhyme or reason. Right. That's sort of like that panic strategy where you just like, you want to make sure everything happens how you need it to happen. You got to try and keep everyone alive. You got to try and kill everyone else on the other team. It's very haphazard, but I guess it worked out enough.
Yeah, I think if Seoul Bubble Tea realized like they were going to play haphazardly, keep one person on the payload, keep them healed up, back up a bit, wait till they use their ults, then come back with that uncontested high ground with the Widow. That should be a one fight there. Bubble Tea.
Exactly. And I want to thank Syntax and Professor Oak, both donating bits. 500 from Syntax and 1,000 from Professor Oak. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for the support.
Yes, thank you for the support to the out.
It's huge. Now pay your casters.
Mercury Spike Bastion. No caster curse, please.
Ooh, this could be huge.
Please. This is just going to be the cherry on top coming into 2-2 here if they run the Bastion.
And they run the Yeah, well, the kind of dangerous thing here is Bubble Tea are playing it very safe here. They're playing back. They're not trying to play anything too dangerous, which could be difficult because unfortunately the not Bastion is going to be able to set up here. And they're on point already pushing it.
But then again, absolutely zero. So no worries there. Syntax, you donating another 1,500 bits. Thank you for the donation.
Insane. He's just trying to one up Professor Oak. Immortality feels down already though. Absolute Zero's in the back. He fades out nice and early though, trying to keep himself alive. Sorry gets walled off, but Disease is there with the Widow. It's not going to be enough. Mercury Spike does find Sorry. And that could be a lot of trouble for the Bubble Tea. Deku falls as well.
They can't even afford to die. They must start their carry pants, but it's just too many numbers here.
They played it too slowly, unfortunately. They didn't take that like aggressive hold anywhere. And it was on the terms of Tokyo. And that's gonna...
Yeah, this is over. Map 5 here, incoming Tokyo and the Seoul Bubble Tea tied up at 2-2 here at the end of Havana.
And no William Zhang to hold Bubble Tea's hand through it. They've got to bring out the Shrek, man.
So with that, let's watch this play the game by Poison here first with the coalescence and the sucking. Oh, actually keeping AMA up there. That is crazy.
Insane
That's pretty
DPS,
huge.
insane fade, insane DPS, insane heals, insane more plays.
Mercury must feel so cheated out of that one. He got a 3K to end the fight, and then that happened.
All right,
It looks like we'll be going to the analyst desk for 5 minutes here. They'll be breaking down the second half here with Eichenwald and Havana. And after these next 5 minutes with the analyst desk, we'll be catching you all for the tiebreaker map in overtime, 2-2 here. We'll see you then.
Hello, welcome back to the caster's desk. I'm Big Cam, and this is
Omi
from the Philadelphia Fission. Omi, what are your thoughts on this map that we just saw, or the last two?
A lot of things actually. We can start off with Eichenwald. So very interesting. Actually, so on attack first was Bubble Tea. And for them, it only took a couple of pushes. They were able to just go ahead and go in and combo. I actually did notice the double shatter block from both sides, which is very interesting as well. So lots of Ryan challenging there. But overall, Bubble Tea on their attack did fairly well, pushed it pretty far. And with Ghouls' defense, they took it all the way to close to third. But overall, their defense was really strong, not a ton of time. And it just felt like Ghoul had a lot more strategy, especially on that last point with Absolute Zero popping off on the Reaper there.
Yeah. Absolute Zero has been performing very well today. He's shown up. After that first map, whenever I had my doubts, he kind of popped off.
Agreed. I feel like once we got into Seoul on their defense, I did want to note that their comp had a lot to do with some successful plays there. They were running the Mercy Ash plus the Hanzo, which provides a lot more damage onto AMA's shield. So I feel like as much as Ghoul was running more of a brawly comp with Mercury on Mei and Zero on Reaper, it kind of led to their success with that much more damage. So really strong play there.
What are your thoughts on MVP? You want me to go first, or you want to share your opinion?
Gosh, this is really tough. Cam and I have been talking about this, and I guess on the side of Ghouls, I mean, I'm a filthy support player, so I've been really enjoying the support side on the Ghouls, both Dawson and Poison. I did want to shout out Dawson because I did notice that he had that trans first on the dragon, but it actually carried over into that shatter, which was very nice, very clean, and provided a lot of value. So I'm always going to root for Dawson, but I will mention Mercury Spike. His Widow is insane.
Yeah, and I'm an off-tank and DPS player, so, you know, I love watching those DPS. And I think Mercury Spike, you know, that last round in Havana, he put it on his back. He got like a 4K. He was playing out of his mind. And his walls, too, on attack were very well. They ended up picking off Sorry very early because of his wall. Like, his Mei is really good, too. But his Widow, man, it's something else.
Yes, next level. Bubble Tea, I'm going to have to give it to probably Disease, if not Go Controls. Both DPS were really strong.
Yeah, I think my edge is more to Go Control. Really consistent on every map. And those last two maps we just saw, the Disease kind of popped off on the Ash. But I think overall, I'd have to give it to Go Controls if, like, on the Bubble Tea side. And on Ghouls, I am going to show some love to Dom, because his Zen has been amazing. That, I think he's got my pick, you know. Mercury Spike kind of popped off on one map, but just for his consistency and how well his Zen is, I got to throw it to Dawson. Shout out to Emerge for the good Zen plays, and Dawson. That's who he reminds me of.
Very true, very true. I mean, poison on the Moira was insane as well. He got play the game. As a flex support myself, I feel like that's I can really put a nod to that as well. So both teams doing really well so far, and I'm really excited to see map 5.
Yeah, I know. And speaking about map 5, I think that's just about all the time we got. Thanks for joining us. It's been Cam.
And Omi from the Philadelphia Fishin'.
Back to you guys.
Ooh, we're live.
All right. Cookie, you have always been lucky with the pauses, like natural pauses in our comments, right? The joining back.
I've got a feeling.
So if y'all are joining in on the stream again, you just saw our analyst desk. Congrats to them. Currently we are at the end of regulation. Tokyo 2, Seoul 2. Because they're tied at the end of 4 maps, we're now going to a 5th map. It will be Busan to break that tie. I am your color caster, Alex Yoshi, and this is your play-by-play.
Cookie Breed. Always happy to be here.
So what did you think about that second half there? I honestly thought that the Havana defense by Tokyo was really good, especially with Mercury actually popping off for a bit there.
Yeah, honestly,
maybe
talked about him. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that happens a lot. I call a specific player out, and they actually end up figuring out what to do and actually do something for the first time in the series, which is nice. We're actually seeing Mercury Spike doing what he needs to do. It was a bit of a shock. I'm surprised. Bubble Team sort of seemed to stumble there. They're a bit worried that the stress is getting to them, and now they've got to sort of recollect themselves and figure out what they're going to do here.
Yeah, and they can't run their tank on this map, Busan. I think, yeah, this is a bit of trouble now here for the Seoul Bubble Team, because as long as Absolute Zero and Mercury keep doing what they're doing, they're going to win the series 3-2. Like, it's just going to happen here. But if I remember, is this what map was this again? Is this Sanctuary? Busan Sanctuary?
I think it might be. I can never remember the names lately.
Yeah, some of the names repeat.
Yeah, but the thing that Ghouls have here is Ghouls have the same they have the same players. They already know what they're doing here and what they're up against. But we've had constant swaps throughout Bubble Tea the entire time, and now we have Davib on for the first time, and we have Gumi back as well. Davib, we're probably going to see. I'm used to seeing him on Orisa, but it looks like he's going to be doing a bit of Diva here. And
Ryan Diva, interesting combo.
Ryan Diva, we're still trying to figure out the meta at the moment, but Ryan Diva is pretty strong when played well, especially if you have a really strong Diva player. I don't know if it's the best thing or if it depends on map or what, but it can be very strong. But they're running the Baptiste, which is a bit odd considering his recent nerfs.
Round 1, capture the objective.
Yeah, so see here. So currently they're just poking at each other right now. It does seem that the bubble team will reach the point here first. Bubbles being used by each of the Zarias, I think. Fire strike is being exchanged. The Vegas doesn't know it.
2 walls coming off though. Sorry, gets the and takes out AMA. He's trying to prove that he is also a decent Ryan, trying to make Zhang proud. And it's just going to be cleanup for here. They just got to get Dawson off the point now. And that's the tranquil little boy gone.
Is that what it's going to come down to, Cookie? That Seoul Bubble Team maybe just a bit better at control, and that just happens to be the tiebreaker? That could be. That could
definitely be it. Because, you know, some teams are better on escort. Sometimes players are better specifically just defending on points, like assault maps and escort maps. Like all these things matter a lot, and this could be just Bubble Tea's map.
Zari is now up on his shatter here. Let's see if he can replicate success that his yes, he does.
Still gets AMA, which is going to be huge. We don't need those big shatters. We just need the important ones, and they're just going to be able to farm up some more ults here. They freeze Absolute Zero. I'm not sure about this coalescence though. It could be a bit of a waste. They're still going to push in though. They're trying to get the weak ones down. Dawson falls as well though. Unfortunately, he's up a lot further than I was expecting. And they're still trying to push in. I don't understand this play right now. Any losses they have is frankly pretty bad.
Poison's gonna want that back.
Yeah, but it is also more. He's already 40% back. He's getting a refund as quickly as he can.
But still, if you think about it, Cookie, a one fight here right now versus having to wait and let the so you see it's so using the ult.
We just have ults thrown out every single direction. We have Blizzard, we have Beat, we have just everything. Grav, and I don't know what came from where, honestly. We have the Grav come out from Tokyo, which is a little bit questionable. I would have just been farming for ults because they already invested the Blizzard. They, you know, Seoul was already investing ults. They didn't need to win the fight there. They didn't need to force a fight. And now they're going to be in a little bit of trouble here because they have Shatter, but these are sometimes a little bit harder to get than just the basic Grav. We're trying to go to the point here, but the nade falls, unfortunately. They're going to be able to get him in the last second. Shatter comes out while everyone's falling. AMA picks up 2 nice and quick. Finds 3. Sorry, trying to do what he can. He gets poisoned. But they're just trying to contest. They don't really need to at this point. They just want to try and build ults at best here and just get off point. You don't want to give Tokyo anything extra here.
Now, if they could catch poison in this next shatter here from Sari, then yes, they could probably seal this point and move on to match point yet again. But we'll see their response here. Mercury now on the Tracer here. Interesting swap. Maybe a forced swap here. We'll see how Mercury does it, but I think honestly that was because they needed to rush back to the point. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, that can be a little bit tricky here because there's not a lot of things that he can really sort of bully here because they're pretty safe. The Coalescence comes out early again. Maybe trying to get the immortality out, but they do find David. They get him out of mech, and that's the tank line down. And well, with I think just Coalescence, they win that fight, fortunately. And they're coming out with a lot more ults soon.
They definitely had a chance to win that fight, but at least kudos to them for not using ults when they're down. And they still have that ult bank. So honestly, if they're going for an approach where they're going to push dry on here and then just push with all their ults at 99, that's respectable.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart play. Just get it. Just treat it as if it's 2 CP. They only need to win one fight. They just play like
the grab.
You know, invest everything. Yeah, the grab comes out. We do have David out of mech, and Sorry falls as well. They just need to sort of farm their ults here, not get too staggered. We just need to build up as much as they can, which they're pretty close to it. Disease, you know, 2/3 of the way there. David as well, not too far off, but they've got all the important ones really.
The important player here is Gumi, because he has to stay alive. 5 ults versus 4 here. Logic tells us that Soul Bubble Tea should be able to win this fight if they just play these ults correctly. As long as Gumi survives here.
Shadow comes down, doesn't hit anyone. Dragon's pushed out as well. It's not really directed towards anyone. Transcendent comes out, trying to keep the tank line alive. It's going to be important here. The windows up, and they do find Ben Wizzle. Absolute zero in the sideline, finding Gumi. And that's pretty much overwhelmed by Tokyo. They're going to take round 1 here.
Yeah.
In a very, very close battle.
And Tokyo, for the first time in this series, is in the lead.
We're getting close, boys. We're getting close.
Score.
It's just, I feel like Soul are choking a little bit here.
Yeah, they kind of have that point locked down. What they failed to realize, Gumi should have saved his ultimate there, because they should have figured out that through ult tracking. Absolute Zero probably has that Blossom there, and if they just manage to keep that Lucio, who knows, maybe they could have caught Absolute Zero you know, just blossoming. They could have headshot him, taken him down. That would have left them with what, a 6-on-5 advantage. They definitely could have won that fight.
Ults have been pretty strong throughout this series as well. Dawson Transcendence has kept up his tank line quite often, which is pretty unusual to see sometimes with the Zenyatta, where it's not used completely as well as it can be.
Yeah, right now they're just trading blows here. The wall does get
here, which could be a little bit rough. He is discorded, and they have nothing to get rid of the discord unless they just kill Gumi. Oh, that's on his own side. Mercury Spike just in the back as well as Absolute Zero, bullying them as much as they can. Mercury Spike does fall, but it might. Oh, it doesn't matter.
I'm kind of surprised. Yeah. Mercury's making this Tracer work.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to see.
And AMA is almost up onto that shatter as well. Like they're set up for the next fight at least. Just win this straight up.
Yeah, so now we've got Tokyo on their holding point. They've got the control for the first time, really. AMA falls early though. That's pretty unfortunate. Collison comes out trying to do DPS more than defend. David finds Dawson. It's just sort of all over the place right now. David gets deep next and the Shatter comes out, only finding poison. They've got to take him out. Oh, they've got an absolute zero as well. Getting that pick is very important here. They just sort of got to get them off point, just push them off. Mercury Spike tries the pulse bomb, but it's not going to quite work out. He mistimed it a little bit on the May Iceberg.
That's kind of weird. You would have thought that with AM and Shatter that they would have won, right? But Ghost Control showing his May prowess again by walling off AMA for sorry to be able to charge him and finish him off there.
They're going to go underneath here. A little bit cheeky, not quite expected, but they are prepared enough for it. David still doesn't have mech though. And I think he's almost there, but maybe not close enough. If they grab here, they're not going to be able to do it. Transcendence and the Death Blossom in the back. Nothing really going to happen too much. They do get grabbed absolute zero in the middle of it all, trying to take out as many as they can. They find 3 through all that damage. They get frozen a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't matter too much for Tokyo. Charles gets AMA, but he's just going to be able to charge on back.
Well, you just see these like just throwing down ults when you're down like 2 to 3. Not the very smart move here, especially when you're in a overtime map here and you're 1 point away from losing the whole series. I think Ghost Control wants that ultimate back.
Yeah, they're going to play this so much smarter than they are right now. Shadow comes out. It's not too important. David dropping the ult, not really finding any value. Sorry with the Shatter though. That's going to be what they need. Now they're just going to get everyone off point. But I think Mercury and Poison are going to be able to stall it out for a little bit. Poison does fall first though, and Mercury shortly after. AMA is on point now, just trying to get the percent up. He jumps off point though, which is not the right thing to do.
Yep.
Just dies a little bit later than he should have. But oh well.
It's actually very important there that the Soul Bubble Tea managed to capture before that crucial 85%. That means they will have at least one more fight, even if they lose this next fight here.
Yeah, as long as they don't get sucked out too much, they've got pretty much a full fight to sort of recontest if they lose any.
Honestly, win condition here for this Tokyo Ghoul, it's going to be
Mercury Spike getting danger super early. The beat comes out to try and save them, but they're still going to worry about ults here. Tracer does have that pulse bomb and absolute zero. He's got this Death Blossom. Ben Whistle finds disease, and it's just sort of a slaughter here. It's Tokyo sort of knows what they're doing at this point. They figured out what's making the bubble tea tick, and they've just disassembled them at this point.
And now Tokyo Ghoul is 1 fight away from winning this whole series here, 3-2. They have 3 ults, and I'm not seeing necessarily a good response here in the ultimate economy coming from the solo. Here's the grab.
Gonna make sure they got on point. And yeah, that is over. Gonna be it. We get the blizzard out. It's insane. It freezes the computer terminals and the lockers, but it just will not be enough. And that's gonna be 3-2 for Tokyo Ghouls. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely some good plays here coming from Absolute Zero. They're on the Reaper just when they needed him the most. Yes.
We can end the poison play of the game. We love these Mora wins that are coming out thick and fast, trying to keep his team alive. He's going for the DPS instead. They're clearing the area, and he's just, he's being a Mora.
All right, so that is it. Yes, Tokyo goes 3, Soul Bubble Teas 2. With that, I think the Tokyo goals go up to 2-0. Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
While the Soul Bubble Tea go down 2-1. This was a very important match because, as Chrisdale mentioned earlier, it was it's one of the top spots in the Pacific Division, right? If I remember, that guarantees you as like in bye, something like that, like basically home privileges, going into the playoffs. So yeah, definitely a big match here coming from both of the teams. Cookie, if you had to choose an MVP for this match, who would you choose?
I think for Tokyo Ghouls, it's going to have to be Absolute Zero. He was just a dominant force throughout the entire thing, just popping off just at every single moment, picking up any slack Mercury left, and playing super well even when Mercury was doing what he could. I think it's got to be him.
For my MVP, I honestly on that Havana, after seeing Mercury play, I was like, okay, showing some pretty good work. But in the end, I still have to choose Absolute Zero.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So I think we should be able to bring him in here. Where is he? Oh, in the wrong Discord.
Yes.
Hello, Absolute Zero.
Zero.
Oh, hello. Hi.
You are our MVP for today's
Oh
series.
shit, dude. Cool.
How you
Hi.
feeling, man?
I feel good. I kind of nervous going against my old team, but we got him, dude.
Yeah, it was getting pretty close there, but it ended up turning out to be one of the better matches. Towards the end there, you had a bit of a shaky start, but you really pulled through. What do you sort of attribute to your win here?
I just kind of just communicate with my team, try not to get upset, and kind of go from when we're learning to the game, adapt to what their game play style is, and just forge ahead.
All right, that's a
Okay.
pretty good way to see it. Do you have any questions, Alex?
See here. How did it feel like to be like on Havana, be like you're down 1-2, but like and now you're like, oh shoot, if we don't do this, we're going to lose the series. So what made you find that energy to fight back? I mean, yes, you did mention like that communication with teammates and everything, but did something click for you during the series, or what happened?
Yeah, I kind of just got in the right mindset. I was kind of upset after that first match. They were kind of rolling us, and I just kind of shook it off a little bit between matches, and we came back.
Alrighty. Well, is there anyone you want to shout out? Any of your teammates, any fans, any closing words you want to say before we disconnect?
Definitely, everybody did a good job on the team. Ben and Poison, they kept the team up. They did a good job today in the back lines.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much,
Alright.
and cheers. Good luck on the rest of the league, and congrats on the MVP.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it.
Alrighty, so that was Attitude Esports Mock Overwatch League, a nice 3-2 win for Tokyo Ghouls versus the Seoul Bubble Tea. You gotta be happy with that.
Yeah.
Closing words?
I don't think so, Cookie. I think we are ready to sign out here.
All right, well, thanks for watching. I've been Cookie Breed, and my color caster here has been
Alex Yoshi, yes.
Oh, and actually, sorry, we want to shout out as well Big Cam and Omi for the analyst desk. Huge, absolutely huge. Thank you very much for that. Getting the extra voices and the extra views is always good throughout these games. And we also want to thank Zaxix and Phantom Void for the follows. We appreciate it.
All right. Without further ado, this is Alex Yoshi and
Cookie Breed again. Thanks.
yes, and this is the desk signing out.